channel, and welcome to the video. I'm going to be covering my sort of gear plan for my Resto druid for TBC anniversary. This will be my first ever arena season as a Resto druid. I didn't really have any experience of arena, but I'm really excited about learning and playing. So yeah, without further ado, talents. Now, I'm fully aware that there is quite a few paths that we could go with as Resto druid. I'm kind of intrigued by the Tree of Life spec, but also the one with Insect Swarm and Nature's Reach as well. And I kind of, maybe I won't, or maybe I will feel it when I don't have these. And I really like, the extra dot for low cost mana. I really sort of appreciate that. I appreciate that allows me to just be a little bit more aggressive. But I just feel my personality, my style, would be more suited to actually playing as the tree and more defensive. Also, I kind of think I've kind of thought about the pros and cons. Okay, there's additional range of Cyclone and Entangled Roots, which I think is probably quite massive. Actually, it seems like a small thing, but I reckon it probably is quite big. But what I do like about Tree Form is it protects me from sap, and that, in a way, as long as I'm able to use things correctly, that can eliminate a lot of problems. I think, and I hope. Also, just allows me an additional powerful healing. So there is that, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll play it and not enjoy it as much, but I don't know. I just think it suits me more to go with this build. Omen of Clarity, I'm not sure if I will use this. I'm not sure if I will actually go with this. But I'm just thinking, the times that you do get a melee hit in and you're able to proc this saves so much mana. And I'm kind of asking myself, well, where else would I put the 1 point? Mark of the Wilds? Everything else seems kind of wasted. 10% crit regrowth? Yeah, maybe. I don't think we're casting regrowth all that much. So yeah, I don't know. It's also just like another magic effect. I understand some people go maximum points in Nature's Grasp. I do feel that 50% is good. 2 hits, more than likely, my opponent's going to be grasped. And it just allows me just to have a little bit more power with Wrath and Starfire. So that's kind of my reasoning here. And then Feral was pretty self-explanatory, I think. So that's what I'm going to go for. In terms of the gear, so the plan is I've got a gear set with no raids, and then I've got a gear set without the season beginning, and then I've got different milestones for when I hit a certain amount of arena points. So this is what I would look at getting before raids, before the season. I'm going to be looking at getting two set bonuses from PvP gear. So I'm going to be running High Warlord's legs and chest, and then the gloves and the head is also sort of healing, but they're from Reputation. Now, I said the same thing in my previous video, that I read a blue post, and what I understood from that blue post is that what I'm doing right here, is possible to do. But I could have misinterpreted it, but I am going to go with the fact that I do think that this is what I read. So yeah, so it just allows us to get that little bit of extra healing in for this part of the season. And then we have like a fitter slots. I felt as a druid like I would be too vulnerable to go for a PvE piece at this stage, so I went again with PvP shoulders just to pack that resilience a little bit, even though I don't think the items are necessarily that strong. We go PvP belts, boots, and wrist. Oh, and neck. Let's not forget the neck. For the back, I went with this scintillating auras cloak. Good arrangement of stats, and a solid healing too. Again, same setup as my priest. The truncheon and this offhand from Old Hillsbrad. This comes with a whole bunch of stamina, a hell of a lot of plus healing, and also does come with some MP5. Again, rings, very much the same as the priest. Band of Halos and Violet Signets. Decent healing, good stats. Idol of the Emerald Queen is the idol. We're going to be using this for eternity. It will never change. And lastly, the Bangle of Endless Blessings. I think this is absolutely huge for druids. Absolutely huge. Passive regeneration is big anyway. Increasing spirits and using that with our innovates and drinking, we can get a shit ton out of mana as long as we're able to use this correctly. So I really, really like this trinket. So that's kind of like what I'd be aiming for at the beginning. Oh, gems. Gems, looking to hit the hit cap. So we have 1 in the chest, 5 spell hit and 6 stamina in the shoulders, and 1 in the head. The meta gem, I'm going with 18 stamina. I don't know how great this would be. I'm just thinking initially I just need to survive rather than worry about my mana. I think that's the thing I need to focus on most firstly, is surviving, and then we can look at other stuff. So I've gone with the 18 stamina to begin with. The jewel crafting gem, 18 stamina in the neck. It's not going to hurt us that it's off gem, because 2 spell crits just not that important. In the shoulders, I've actually opted for healing with the spirit, epic gem. In the chest, I've gone with 11 healing, 6 stamina, 11 healing, and resilience. So again, healing being paired with survival stats. And then in the wrist slot, I've gone with the pure healing, dual crafting upgraded gem also. With the priest, I was going with different ring, shoulder, and wrist enchants, but I think the healing with druids, I think is just it makes a lot more sense. So we're going with healing power in those slots for our enchants. So in a perfect world, my next gear set is essentially just before the season starts, and this is what we've got from our very first raid. Yeah, we're extremely lucky. And then we woke up. But yeah, just some of the PvE pieces that I would be looking for. The Naru Light Warden's Band, bunch of stats, a bunch of healing, MP5, max rank of Grand Restorer. Yeah, we're not getting there, but again, we're in fantasy land here. What we should be aiming for. Combination of Light's Justice and the Signal of Unshakable Faith. Good amount of stats, good amount of spirit from these items. Chest is the same. The back changes. Again, Cloak from Prince, high amount of plus healing. So a few things would change for me at this point. Now, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to survive enough with 268 resilience. So the gear is subject to change. If I feel like I'm too squishy, I'm going to change some things. But again, in the ideal world, if we land the tier 4 shoulders, I'm just going to stack it with the 18 stamina and the 15 stamina gem, match the sockets, get the extra spirit. This is, I mean, I've seen people opt for the Earth Soul leggings as their PvE slots, but I actually think the shoulders are better as an overall upgrade, so I would choose to use this as the PvE piece. So yeah, just again, Spirit MP5, great for regen. Again, we can make it a very chunky item with all the stamina, which means that I do change a few gem sockets, and now that I have the spell hit and the stamina in the neck piece instead, everything else is pretty much the same. And then once we are beginning the season, after 3,750 arena points, I would choose to get the chest piece and the leggings, at which point I then put both of the 11 healing and stamina gems in, just to make myself as chunky as possible. Pretty much everything else is the same. Then once we gain 3,000 more arena points, we're looking at the head and the hands. Also, just note that we do opt for the spell damage head and gloves. This is so I can maintain as much resilience as possible and get 2 times 35 resilience bonuses. So that's very cool. Feeling a lot more chunkier though at this point. 9,958 buffed health seems a pretty good place to be. And then what else we have? I've opted for the weapon. Again, this is subject to change. Maybe I won't feel like I need it, I don't know. But yeah, for the last of the arena points I would spend on is the weapon. And then we're sitting over 10k buffed HP, which I think is pretty solid for druid. But yeah, so that's kind of my plan. Aiming for as much survivability and healing as possible. I would say probably mana regen takes like a slight backseat when it comes to those other attributes, but yeah, I think it's just a case of just gaining some experience, getting a feel for things, and then just adjusting accordingly. But I really like the gem choices. Enchanting jewel crafting is very accommodating when it comes to these PvP. So yeah, that's pretty much my plan for season 1. Yeah, really sort of looking forward to giving it a go. Yeah, any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And good luck with the upcoming season.